Welcome into another edition of the Old North State Sports Show, folks. We are here today to break things down for you in the world of the Carolina Panthers. And we have updates on Raheem Blackshear's contract, the offseason program, and we're going to discuss the wide receiver room beyond 2025. So what does it look like for years to come? We're going to be looking at every position group. I already broke down the offense on X. If you haven't seen it, please follow. That's where I post a lot of content. We'll eventually get this into a website or somewhere, but for now, that's where we put things. Now, news coming in, Raheem Blackshear, very favorable contract for the Carolina Panthers, primarily going to be their kick returner. At least that's what we would assume with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard carrying the rock, unless, unfortunately, one of those guys gets hurt. So we don't want that to happen, but not bad at all. $1.1 million cap hit. Fantastic for both sides here, and there's nothing to complain about for me personally. The Panthers cap space itself probably back in the range of 16 million-ish. Have not looked to see what the updated numbers are, but I know they were floating around 16 to 17 million. We know they got a reserve amount that we'll have set aside for the rookies that come through. Shouldn't be too expensive, but you also hope that the Panthers can make a few additional signings leading up to the draft. Is that going to happen? That is to be determined. Now, the wheels are in motion, folks. We know the draft is coming up soon. The offseason program is about to officially get underway. So we have dates. One, players reporting, not on here that you can see, April 21st. Remember, there's 3 phases to this rollout. I'll go through those in just a second. But OTAs, May 27th through the 28th. I say 28th. It's 27th and 28th. May 30th, June 2nd through the 3rd, and then June 5th. And one of the things last year, the Panthers, I believe it was either OTAs or mandatory minicamp. I'm leaning towards mandatory minicamp, that they ended up shutting it down. So not having it the full length of time. But let's get into the phases, and you can go out. I got this directly from the NFL communications that came out on this. So again, voluntary offseason workout programs are intended to provide training, teaching, and physical conditioning for the players. 2025 calendar is below. We're, of course, only focusing on the Carolina Panthers. So phase 1 consists of the first 2 weeks of the program with activities limited to meetings, strength and conditioning, and physical rehabilitation only. So you're not really getting any football work in. Phase 2 consists of the next 3 weeks of the program, which will have on-field workouts, which may include individual or group instructions and drills, as well as perfect play drills, and drills and plays with offensive players lining up across from offensive players and defensive players lining up across from defensive players. So you're not going to get offense versus defense. Conducted at a walkthrough pace. No live contact or team offense versus team defense drills are permitted. They keep tight ropes on these things. We know player safety, that continues to be the theme. Finally, phase 3, which is the phase that we're most excited about, is the next 4 weeks of the program. So teams may conduct a total of 10 days of organized team activities or OTAs. No live contact is permitted, but 7-on-7, 9-on-7, and 11-on-11 drills are permitted. And we went through the dates. May 27th and 28th, the 30th, the 2nd through the 3rd of June, and the 5th of June. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days listed. And then your mandatory minicamp, which consists of 3 days. So that will cover it for the Carolina Panthers. And remember, you will also have a rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp is not exclusive to the rookies that are drafted. You'll have rookies that are drafted, undrafted free agents, and in addition to that, potential tryout players. So veterans, not necessarily veterans, but players that may be trying to make a comeback or get into the league, they will also be available. So it's exciting, man. I was on the live stream today talking about this. Like, it's here. Feels like, we go from the Super Bowl, things are moving slow. We're into March Madness. We're about to crown a champion this weekend, possibly the Duke Blue Devils if you are a Duke Blue Devils fan. But that's it. Moving right along. Let's talk about the Panthers wide receiver room one more time, because why not? But we're looking at it from a different angle. It's a little bit harder to see on this graphic, so maybe you have to blow it up to a full screen. Up to you. But what I'm doing is I've been going through the contracts for the Carolina Panthers and looking at the state of where they are for years to come. So we know quarterbacks taken care of, offensive line, interior on guard positions taken care of, not so much at tackles or center, tight end, etc. So we're looking through all these groups, but I wanted to focus specifically on wide receivers today. You can look at the chart here. Adam Thielen under contract this year, 2 void years. Now there's I would say a very slim chance, but I'm not buying into it. He could be back, which would adjust the cap hit. But he's here. This is it. Last year, likely. Xavier Legette is the only player currently under contract for the Carolina Panthers in 2026. A few other guys that are free agents: David Moore, Dan Chisena, Dax Milne. Now Jalen Coker is an exclusive rights free agent. So the Panthers own the rights. So technically, you're going to have Legette and Coker available for the Panthers looking into 2026. TJ Luther, also an exclusive rights free agent. And then Bryce, who was brought in, not Bryce, but it is Bryce Tree Main. Sorry, I had to get down, don't have my glasses on, and that is very tiny print. So the only reason I'm bringing all of this up, and you could look at the tackle position, you could look at the center position and make the same argument, is what are the Panthers going to decide to do in this year's draft? Are they going to go wide receiver earlier than we expect, even though folks still believe defense is the need? Defense is, reading the tea leaves, that's what the Panthers are going to hone in on. I don't know. It's hard to find a wide receiver in the market that's going to be a free agent, that's going to hit free agency, that you're going to be able to get. So if the Panthers don't get their guy, don't get their number one, whatever it is, they're still going to need some options. And so I do think it makes sense for the Panthers to consider wide receiver, possibly second round. Again, we can talk about trade backs all we want, but if you do get a really nice trade back scenario where you have more draft picks, it'll make even more sense to scoop someone second, but possibly even third round for the Carolina Panthers. So that's the only reason that I'm bringing this up and talking through it. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's episode. This is Carolina Dad. Y'all have a good one.